Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 13, game of the week. We got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Cincinnati Bengals. Chiefs are -2, and I need to come on here and reiterate my opinion. Chiefs to win and to cover, and I really like it. I understand the Bengals. I respect the Bengals. There's no sort of disrespect from me towards the Bengals. They were a money pick against the Steelers, and I have nothing against them. I just want to make that clear. But when I look at this game, I see a Chiefs team that is superior. I see a Chiefs team that is peaking. Did you really think the Chiefs were showing any of their plays or anything sophisticated against the Rams? No, obviously they weren't. But I feel like the Chiefs, they're getting better every single week. They're building. And yes, it does look like the Bengals are peaking, but they haven't played a team like the Chiefs. My biggest issue with the Bengals, it's not Joe Burrow. It's not anything to do with the offense. It's their cornerback position. Ever since Awuzie got hurt, this cornerback position is an absolute train wreck, an absolute hot mess. And that's a bad situation to have when Pat Mahomes is pulling up in the bus with Travis Kelce. You understand what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying anything asinine. And I'm looking at Zach Taylor in this game, and my main issue of the Bengals the last year and a half isn't Joe Burrow. It's not anything to do with him. It's the lack of creativity in the Bengals offense. I feel it's very, very simple. It's about players winning one-on-one battles, no creating open spaces, no misdirection, and I think that will hurt. And when you look at this Chiefs defense, they don't have a lot of stars. Really, the only dog they have is Chris Jones, but they're average, above average in a lot of places with a good scheme, and I think that can get in Burrow's way a little bit. I don't think this Bengals defense can get in the way of this Chiefs offense. With this cornerback situation, they're forced to play a lot of zone. They play a lot of quarters coverage. They play a lot of soft zone. Even Kenny Pickett was able to move the ball up and down the field all damn day against this Bengals defense. I think he put up like a 24 spot or a 20 spot in the first half against the Bengals. That's troublesome. Pat Mahomes is a lot better than Kenny Pickett. Yes, adjustments happen, but the secondary problems are still there, and you got Travis Kelce underneath sitting in the spots in the zone. I just see a lot of moving the ball slowly for the Chiefs controlling it at a consistent rate. And when I look at the Chiefs, one thing they're doing really good this year is they're taking care of the ball. We know the NFL's a turnover game. You know, when you got two good squads, Chiefs, Bengals, you know what it comes down to. It comes down to magical plays, but it also comes down to turnovers. And Burrow's been churning it over this year. Not because he sucks or anything like that. It's because he has such a small, fine margin of error. And I think that's what happens here. I think Burrow churns it over one or two times. And I think Mahomes comes in here and plays a flawless game. And I want you to ask yourself an honest question right now. I want you to, if for those who think the Bengals will win, I'm fine with it, but just ask yourself an honest question at this moment. If you were going into battle, if your life was on the line, who would you want to be your general? Big Red Andy Reid or Zach Taylor? I know who I would pick. I would obviously go with Andy Reid, and I think Andy Reid makes the difference in this game. Both teams are struggling to run the ball, but I do want to say something. I feel like the Bengals have a better offense when Samaje Perine's in the game. Am I crazy? This is coming from those of you who watched the show for 3-4 years. No, I was a huge Joe Mixon fan, but him coming back this week from the concussion doesn't move the needle for me. If anything, it moves it the other way. I just feel like Perine fits better with what Zach Taylor and Burrow are trying to do with this offense at the current moment. So when I look at this game, man, I do think it has potential to turn into the shootout. Over-under is 52.5. I'm going over. I'm not in love with it. It's not a money pick, but I do think this game has potential to turn into a shootout, and I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised if the Chiefs get into the 30s here. Now, we don't know if Kadarius Toney's going to play. Smith-Schuster will play. Bengals don't have too many serious injuries. Just Awuzie at corner is out again. I'm looking forward to this game, and I do think I'm not one for these like melodramatic soap opera storylines, but I do think the Chiefs getting revenge after that second half collapse on the Bengals in the playoffs. I do think that has weight here. I do think it will be a factor here. Bengals winning the cover on the road. 2 player props I like. Mahomes over 308.5 passing yards. That's the prop I like most. Also, Patreon contest starts today. Get on my Patreon, link in the description, $5 a month. Live call-in show, Friday, 4:30 Eastern time. Let's get this moolah.